Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik from Figured Out Productions. The following video is a video of some kind, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, it's Adam here, and welcome to PlayLoad. This is all my video game pickups for the month of July 2018. And as far as pickups go, this was not a particularly crazy month. As you can see, this is not a whole lot of content. So if you want to see like a crazy ass whole bunch of pickup stuff, go back earlier this month and check out my book off, heart off Japanese pickups video. Oh, dude, some of the comments in that video are really nice, by the way. A lot of people are saying like this is the pickups video of pickups videos. Like, it's fucking insane. I wasn't expecting that, but it was a lot of cool shit. A lot of cool shit. So this month, as far as like domestic stuff anyway, which ironically some of this is not, you'll see towards the end, I took it a lot easier, to be honest with you. In fact, there's only two sources for all the video games on this table. The first and foremost one was kind of the tragic one. Rest in peace, Toys R Us. I decided to go out to a Toys R Us and see what I could wrangle up, because by the time I got there, a lot of their selection had been basically obliterated by a whole lot of people. But I wanted to see if I could find anything, because the prices on some of that stuff was ridiculous, ridiculously good, just to get some of that closeout content. So it's worth noting, by the way, that Toys R Us is only closing in the United States. At least for now. It looks like in other countries anyway, it will survive due to other ownerships. I know it's definitely staying around in Canada and Japan. I've been to them in Australia and Portugal and the UK even. I think they're going to survive all there. I think it's really just the US stores that are shutting down, which is depressing, but it is what it is. Maybe it'll come back. You know, nostalgia is amazing in our generation. They bring stuff back all the time. Maybe some other parent will take over, some other parent company will take over the license or whatever and bring it back. Who knows? That doesn't matter right now. Point is, what did I pick up? So I picked up a couple of games for the PS4 there. Horizon Zero Dawn, which of course is a big game. Now, I was actually tempted to not pick this one up in particular, because there is now like an Ultimate Edition of this game that has like all the DLC and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, to be honest, it was just kind of more that it was there. It was Toys R Us and it was so cheap. I was just kind of like, what the hell? Maybe down the line I'll regret that decision more, as it's not as practical as having the complete edition, but whatever, I picked it up anyway. Also for the PS4, picked up Gravity Rush 2. Gotta admit, I was a little more surprised to see this one still in stock at that point, because this is a pretty cool game, and it's not by any stretch of the imagination a rare game, but nowhere near as big as it probably should have been. So to see them still have copies of that was kind of surprising, but so I was definitely cool to get a PS4 exclusive off the list. Did some videos of the first one anyway on my other channel, in Game Society. Originally it was a PS Vita game, but then they ported it to the PS4, and then eventually did the sequel, of course, here for the PS4 as well. So yeah, really cool series of games. A little oddball, but you know, they're fun, from Japan studio through Sony, and yeah, neat games. But there you go, got that. For the Xbox One, I got one that is an exclusive to the console, although probably you can play it on PC now through that whole crossplay thing they do. Never been my franchise, but I wasn't going to pass up on it for cheap, considering it's basically a console exclusive, which is Forza Horizon 3. To be honest with you, have never been like a real fan of Forza games. I know that the Horizon stuff is more of the sillier, more fun, not to be taken as seriously as the other Forza stuff. Like Forza, I think it's Forza Motorsport, that series, Motorsport, I don't know why I said that wrong. That stuff's the more serious stuff, which I have never been much for, but Horizon is supposed to be a little bit more, perhaps, my jam, but I have, to be honest, I haven't really played it that much. But yeah, you know, I don't know, I still wanted to pick it up just to support. The other one I got for the Xbox One that I should have very embarrassingly picked up a long time ago, and this also falls into the Horizon Zero Dawn category of like, maybe I should have waited, is Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, the reason I say maybe I should have waited is there is like a Ultimate Edition of this game with more content and all that stuff. So this is the base version. But the reason at the same time I say that I should have got it a long time ago is that I was invited to multiple events for this game, both in San Francisco by Ubisoft as well as Paris, France, where I got to do like a tours of the studio and all that stuff to check out the game. So it's kind of funny, even though I'd played it a bunch, from like, you know, digital copies that we were given through Game Society, as well as like actually getting to play it at events, having my own like physical copy of this game that I can call my own to play whenever I want, I actually didn't have that until recently. So yeah, this game is, I know I'm very late to talking about it on this channel, but this is a very fun game. It's basically like Far Cry, but in third person. If you like the Far Cry stuff, like, you should definitely check out Ghost Recon Wildlands. I really, really enjoyed this game from what I've played of it earlier, but to be able to actually sit down and like actually play through the game entirely is going to be a lot of fun. So definitely glad to have that. So Ghost Recon Wildlands. Also picked up various games for the Switch. Really, honestly, nothing super special here, just kind of like what was left, and then games I didn't have. So first up, I got the Lego, or the Ninjago video game movie game. I never saw it. Dude, I saw that first Lego movie, that one was good. Lego Batman, I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't enjoy. And the Ninjago movie, I was just kind of like, I don't care. Maybe they can woo me back with something else, but I'm clearly not the target demographic for that particular genre, but I will admit Lego movie was pretty good. But yeah, the Ninjago movie video game. I wouldn't be surprised if the game itself is actually pretty good. I give credit to those. The Lego games in general are usually very good. So I haven't played this one in particular, but now they come out so damn quickly. Like I've already played and had access to the new Lego DC Villains game, and that was like an early access at E3 opportunity. But yeah, these things come out so damn fast, and I'm so behind on them that I just haven't had time to catch up. So it's on the list. Also picked up Monopoly for the Switch. I maintain that on my other channel we should do something with this, Game Society again, because we are at our best when we're at our worst, arguing with each other and making like just pissing each other off in game content. Monopoly's ripe for that, man. Monopoly ends friendships, so you never know. That could be pretty good over there, but we'll see. We'll see. Might do a live stream or something like that. Another one I got that I really only got because it was so cheap. It's not a game I really needed, but it's one of the few sports titles. RBI 2017. As aforementioned, yeah, the baseball game, I don't really care much for sports titles, but it was stupid cheap, and it's just like, oh good, it's, you know, another one for the collection, I guess. Though, to be honest, I think I'm gonna have to just declare failure on the idea of getting some sort of complete Switch set, because that's out of control at this point. It's already, you're getting into the whole limited run games thing, super rare games thing, and Play Asia is doing their own thing, and then there's just too many games coming out in too many different regions. It's getting out of control. So I'll still probably chip away at it and stuff. I openly am gonna say I'm not declaring any sort of full set for the Switch. It's not gonna happen. And the other one I picked up for the Switch, though, was Marvel Lego Superheroes 2, or Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. This is also a pretty cool game. Maybe in hindsight, it would have been better to get this for like the Xbox One or the PS4, but I kind of just liked the idea of collecting it more for the Switch. But as aforementioned, that may be less of a factor from now on, so we'll see. We'll see. It's kind of weird how collecting motivations can just kind of change, you know? Like, you pick up the Switch version potentially because you're thinking, oh, I might get a Switch set at some point, but then you go, maybe get the Xbox One version or the PS4 version instead because it's actually going to perform better. You know, I don't know. Depends on how it goes, but for now anyway, I still went with that, especially because we're talking Toys R Us closeout, and so it's like, these are the items you've got. Now, one console that I still care about getting a full set for, that I have not completed, though I am very close, and Toys R Us, thank you as one of your goodbyes. You very much helped me get much closer to that. I got 3 Wii U titles. Now I'm only missing like 4 or 5, something like that at this point. And as far as I know, there's only 2 that are tentatively going to be released. Just Dance 2019 is still coming. Ubisoft announced that at E3. That's going to be a thing. There's going to be a Wii U version, that's for sure. And Axiom Verge, which if it even comes out at all, will only be limited to Europe. But you know, it was supposed to come out last January and still hasn't shown up, so I don't know if it ever actually will. So Just Dance 2019 might be the last one, we don't know. But for now, there was still a few games that have come out that I needed. First up here is Zumba Fitness World Party. This actually comes in like a big box and has like some, you know, like equipment for it to help for the workout. It's like a workout game. Clearly not something I'm going to really participate in. I don't know if that was obvious or not. But yeah, I really just got it just to get it off the list. But yeah, it was there, so I was pleasantly surprised. But yeah, as an actual game, certainly not something I'm really gonna have much to do with. And then these two I was happy to get, even though the actual games I don't care much about, but it was just kind of an annoying omission in the collection. I got Angry Birds Trilogy and Angry Birds Star Wars. Not gonna lie, I've never really seen the appeal of the whole Angry Birds thing. It's just, I don't know. I mean, good on Finland for getting something so cool, globally recognized for them. But like beyond that, I don't really have much else to say about them. There've never been games that I was super interested in. I've tried it a little bit, but it's just, you know, it's probably one of those things that really worked better on a mobile device, and then it blew up way too much for its own good. Because I doubt it plays exactly the same. Though I guess if you were gonna play it on any console, the Wii U is probably the best bet just because of the whole touchscreen nature, but then I say that without having actually played these particular versions, so I don't know. And I like the idea that it got popular enough to mesh with Star Wars, and it meshed with a whole bunch of stuff. They even gave it its own movie, dude. But still, I don't know. But there you go. I'm just happy to get those off of the list. That's really the big winner there, was getting 3 Wii U games off of the list, even though those actual games are by no stretch of the imagination anywhere near the best stuff. But I can tell you right now, Wii U, full set going for it. Switch, PS4, Xbox One, never gonna be a thing. But Wii U, I can get a full set of that. That's totally reasonable. Now, moving on, that was all the Toys R Us stuff, so thank you very much, Toys R Us. But the other thing I did was I bounced out to Portugal very briefly. I was there for about a week. Now Portugal, I've been there a couple of times, and it's not really the best place for video games. Like, I know a couple of spots. I usually stay in like the Porto area, which is the northern half of the country. And I know a couple of spots that I can go to that have some stuff. In fact, a couple of spots have opened since I was last there. And I was supposed to go to them, or I was trying to work out going to them, but the timing just didn't quite work. But I went to a couple places I knew, and I got 2 games, just 2, because you know, first of all, the selection is usually kind of limited, but also on top of that, you, in a lot of cases, will have a lot of Portuguese, obviously, logically so, intensive games, but you do occasionally get the various mixed in like UK copy of something, because a lot of the times a game doesn't bother to localize in Portugal. They just kind of ship the British version, because a lot of people in Portugal speak English. Obviously they speak Portuguese. They speak English as well, so that's usually the secondary preferred version. So as a result, as someone who only speaks English, because I'm an ignorant American, I'm going to go for that. So if I see English-speaking versions of stuff, provided the price is appropriate, what the hell. So the first one that I decided to pick up was a PS4 European exclusive by Badland Games. This is Dead Synchronicity Tomorrow Comes Today. Indie game to an extent, made by Badland. It may eventually get some sort of North American release, at least on physical on PS4, but at this point in time, there is no such thing. This only cost a couple euros, so I thought that's not bad for that game, because last time I had been over there and seen this game in particular, it was usually in like the $20, $30, if not 20, 30 euro range. But for only a couple of this time, I thought, what the hell? So yeah, definitely a cool extra little pickup there for the PS4. And then the ultimate guilty pleasure, stupid ass pickup of this whole fucking thing was this. This is the Mouse Police for PS2. So this definitely bears an explanation for most people, I'm sure. Now, there's a couple things you have to understand about the PlayStation 2 in Europe. Aside from it being stupid popular, it was also just kind of stupid. And I don't mean that as an insult to the console. I mean, like, later on in its life, and this is just a factual thing, I think it was around 2009, Sony got involved in there was some sort of legal dispute with Sony where they thereby basically had to drop all quality standards for the console, which essentially meant that anyone wanted to make a PS2 game, as long as they provided those assets to Sony, Sony had to publish it and put their fucking name on it. But only in Europe. So as a result, it was a little bit like the 3DO, where just like anybody could make anything, and therefore you have a fuck ton of garbage that showed up on the PS2 in Europe exclusively in the last few years of its life. In fact, the last game ever released for the PlayStation 2 came out only in Europe. I believe it was Pro Evolution Soccer 2014. Yeah, 2014. This is when they were still making PS2 games, so good on you for that. But Yeah, as a result, there was a whole host of crap, and some of them are hysterical. Some of them are just tragically sad. Others are very weird, like you have movie license games that make no sense. Like Home Alone had a game for PS2 in like 2010 or something like that. I think Jumanji, same type of deal, not to be associated with the newer movie, like based on the old one, but the games almost never have anything at all to do with the movies they take place based on. But this one is in a special category, this particular game. This is by a company called Phoenix. Now, Phoenix is the golden stamp of crap when you look at a PlayStation 2 title in Europe. You see that on there, I promise you the game is terrible. So why would you want it? Well, they also, there's a subset within that, you know, content of crap for PlayStation 2 that they made, which is anything you see that kind of looks like it might be Disney inspired and generally has this yellow stamp here. And what this yellow stamp says includes cartoon movie, jigsaw puzzle, pairs, coloring book, puzzle. What this is there was this guy, I don't know much about him other than that. I think he was from, I want to say Norway, but I could be wrong about that. English was not his first language, which doesn't have to be, but it is amusing for the purposes of this. This guy, I guess, was an animator, or that's what he wanted to be. And he made a whole bunch of fucking shitty ass movies, like really bad, like Disney cloned garbage, usually about 45 minutes to an hour long. And what he ended up doing is taking them and having them produced as PlayStation 2 titles. Now, infamously, I've talked about this before, like Animal Soccer World is by far like the funniest one. It's hilarious. And this guy, not only was he a bad animator, but he also did all the voices of every single character. And he did them all in English, which is why it's even weirder. And the dude can't act. So every single character sounds exactly the same. And it's just this one guy talking to himself over and over again. And you'll have all these like random characters that look like various Disney characters, sometimes literally just straight sketches of those characters. And every single one of these movies is hilariously terrible. So, but he wanted to give it some sort of gaming element. So what he also did is he created like basic paint. So it'll take like a frame and make it all black and white, and you can color it however you want. It'll take a frame and rearrange it, and you can do a puzzle mode, stuff like that. But really what it is just a crappy ass 45-minute movie that's hilarious. So I've had this like weird masochistic desire to actually track down every one of these like crappy animated movie ones he did. I have a bunch of them, but there's still more out there, I'm sure, that I don't have. But yeah, I really would like to get all of those just because that is so funny to me. And there's a whole bunch of other just garbage ones on the PS2 I'd love to pick up. A whole lot that are actually like direct Disney ripoffs, some of which I have, as mentioned before, and others that some other companies handled that do completely different things that are still just Disney ripoffs. I don't know what was up with that, but I guess when all the barricades and all the security measures were completely demolished, I guess you can kind of do whatever the hell you want. You know, when the cat is away, the mouse will play, right? So that's pretty much what happened there. But yeah, that's essentially it. That's all my pickups for this month. So yeah, I got some stuff in Portugal, and of course, thank you very much to Toys R Us. Much love. And hopefully you guys come back in some form. If not, I will be visiting you in other countries if I get the opportunity to do so. So yeah, that's really it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.